This thing is about 900 pages. It's incredibly difficult to read, so I use audio. Am I making sense? But there's something, it's about the first 5 books of the Bible. Each one is about 900 pages. It's so thorough and so intense that there's so much revelation. And one of the most powerful revelations in the thing is the gentleman says that Israel, in spite of the miracles that they saw, one after the other, even up to the death of the firstborn, they still said, we want to go back to Egypt. Then even when they crossed the Red Sea, they said to Moses, were we not better off? Ladies and gentlemen, miracles can take you so far. Your miracle will last as long as until you need another one. There's something about us about miracles. We're so focused, everybody's looking for breakthroughs. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm a person, I'm running a business, New Streams, and I want a breakthrough from God. I want a 100 million naira contract from Oyo State government to run an event. And from it, I will make 50 million naira. Am I right? And that's a miracle. I pray, I fast, and that miracle comes. Am I making sense? And I get 100 million from Oyo State government. It costs me 50 million to run the event. I improve the facility. I walk home and give my wife 25 million and say, wow, a miracle has happened. But guess what? I'm going to be praying for another miracle if I don't put systems in place. Am I making sense? To take that 100 million and turn it into 1 billion. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And that's where I think we have a major... Miracles are great for all their worth. But have you noticed they're attention getters? They're to let you know God is here. But God will always revert to his process. Am I making sense? I need you to have that at the back of your mind. So don't be so... Because most of you are still waiting for miracles. And sometimes God will wait until the system is in place before he gives you the miracle. I kept asking my media unit, I kept asking them and saying to them, guys, let me ask you, which one came first? Man or systems? All you have to do is go to Genesis. It was the system. Am I right? It was when he finished putting the system in place, he created man. But you want to put man first, you know what I mean? And then you don't have any system to keep the man. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So please don't fight this thing. Am I making sense? And don't think that you don't need it. That all you're looking for is a miracle. Miracles will take you so far. I promise you, until you need the next miracle. As a matter of fact, the further away you are from the miracle, the less your commitment to God. But if you're committed to God systematically, it doesn't matter whether you get a miracle or not. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So it's critical. It's very, very critical. Allah, it's telling you where the problem is. Allah, it's telling you on the screen where the problem is. It's in the TV box. Have you checked the TV box? Or have you checked the connection where it splits to the TV box? Yeah. Okay. So I need to move on. You would have to manage these 2 screens there, okay? So that we don't waste time. He sent me this. But it kind of captures...
Let's be straight. Working hard is not enough. There are people working way harder than you ever will, and they're still poor. Street vendors wake up at 5 a.m., walk kilometers up until late night. Security guards do night shifts. Manual laborers destroy their bodies. They work incredibly hard, but we all know they're not millionaires. It took me a while to understand, but the difference is not effort, it's leverage. So focus on smart work, scalable businesses, systems, assets that grow without your presence, income that compounds. Hard work keeps you alive. Smart work sets you free. And if you do both...
So, do you get it just captured for me what I've been trying to say? That at the end of the day, what we're doing, everybody can work hard. Now, there'll be, by the way, I have a bricklayer, not a bricklayer. When he started working with me, he was a bricklayer. When we were starting to do Jesus Embassy, he was a bricklayer. They used to call them two J's or 2 B's. They were both Balogun or something like that, or 2 N's. I can't remember how they started their name. 2 of them were bricklayers, seasoned bricklayers. Today, he's a contractor. He doesn't carry blocks, but he's still doing the same job. What has he done? Smart work. So he employs bricklayers. Am I making sense? But he could still, and how many blocks can you carry in one day? Down below. So let's assume you are a teacher. You can only teach 30 students in 1 hour. That's the maximum you can teach. All right? And you have how many hours a day to work? 8 hours. So the total number of students you can teach in a day is 240. Am I right? Am I right? Each one of them paying you 10,000 naira. How much is your income? So if you build a school and have other teachers, how much is your income? I don't know if I'm making any sense. So I'm going somewhere with this. This is going to be a lot of videos. It stopped in between. Allah, I don't know why it did that, but I'm not going to play it again. But you get the point, though. Now listen to this guy. This is very short. You have to listen to it fast.
Diversify when you have a system and process that's replicatable. If you focus on the actual system, then it doesn't matter what you do. I run 86 companies at the same time, right? So everybody that tells you to focus on one thing, they just don't know how to have a process and system to do multiple. You could run 10 businesses yourself if you wanted to.
So the moment your system works, your limits disappear. Elon Musk is building what they call Optimus robots. And he's trying to explain to people that human beings have to close, have to go to work, have to rest, have to be paid overtime, have to be paid health allowances, have to be paid a salary. Not only that, they have to stop, and they're human, and they're emotional. He says, if I build a robot to replace, that's what they did with cars. I can work 24 hours. As a matter of fact, there are factories in China right now that work 24 hours a day, run by 18-year-old girls.